Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about daily habits for manifesting money, prosperity, and abundance. Are you sick of clocking in and out of your job and feeling like you're wasting your life, like you're kind of a lost, like zombie, walking zombie? Do you want to live a life of abundance and prosperity? Well, if that is the case, we are going to be talking about it today and getting into it right now. All right, so just to start off, I have to say, lack comes all from what's going on in here. I am not exempt from it. I get lack-minded thinking too. I am, not perfect. I'm human. But if you can realize that lack comes all in here, and I have a recent story that I'll get into talking about it. But if you start to change your money story, your love story, your happiness story, you're going to change your bank account, you're going to change your life, and you're going to change your relationship or the lack of relationship that you have. I promise you, it's all in here. And I'm going to teach you how to help this. Because when you change your beliefs, your whole life changes, okay? Let's get into these habits to manifest love, abundance, and prosperity. Okay, so habit number one, let's just keep it simple. Become aware of what you're thinking about, okay? So if you want abundance, you have to see abundance and feel abundance all around you because there truly is abundance everywhere. And I actually recently was on a coaching call because I have a coach too. And we were masterminding, and one of the partners in my mastermind group told me, I'm hearing a lot of lack. I'm hearing a lot of kind of complaining. And Bob Proctor always says, you were born rich, right? We're all born into this life rich. We all have the capability of being rich and being successful. And rich could be rich in family relationships, friendships, rich in abundance of like trees and fruit trees. Like in my backyard, I have a ton of fruit trees. I wish people would come over and pick the damn fruits because there's so much and I don't have time to pick it all. You can create that in your life. You just have to see it. So I myself was reminded recently that I was seeing a lot of lack. A lot of stuff that, for me, it's like I kind of go into this, like, I'm spread too thin. I have too much to do. My kids, and this and that. And I have all these things and people to manage. And it's just a lot sometimes. Instead of thinking in that way, like, let's use money for an example. People, because it's oftentimes what people struggle with, myself included. I'm not perfect. I want big things, but you have to see the abundance around you. And it's so crazy because I started doing this exercise, just being aware of it, aware of all the abundance of stuff. I was literally in the gym. I just started back up at the gym because I need to get in shape. And I feel like a lot of people are sick around me or dying of cancer or this or that. It's like really, really depressing. So I wanted to get back and get healthy again. And I legit was like kind of down. It wasn't a great week the other week and had some things come up that I just had to look at. And I started telling myself, there's an abundance of weights in this gym. There's an abundance of speckles on the ground because there was like little kind of spots on the ground. There's an abundance of people wanting to like work out. There's an abundance of fat coming off and sweating out. They said on the gym, they said, our sweat is your fat crying because it's going away. So like seeing that, I just kept saying it over and over. I was like, there's an abundance of trees. There's an abundance of concrete on the ground, like, where my car is driving. There's an abundance of people in my town and there's just abundance of everything. There's money and love and everything everywhere. And I'm not kidding you. I was like, just focused on abundance. I got like 4. In 48 hours, I think I got 4 or 5 inquiries. For sure 4. I think 1 I have to follow up on just from the past. But like, I'm like, holy crap, like it works. So just seeing the abundance, like going to places. I mean, if you're, depending on the town you're in, like I live in San Francisco, so I could go to downtown Wanna Creek and go into the like, fancy shops and like look around and be like, there's an abundance of like purses and opulence here, people willing to spend their money. Or San Francisco and Louis Vuitton, wherever the designer stores are. And you realize there's an abundance of money everywhere. You're just not seeing it, like you have to start seeing it. And when you start seeing it, and one of the tricks that I have that I do is when I start to think lack mentality, I'm like, no, there's an abundance because last year I closed X amount of deals, made this much money, and then I made this much in my investment. Like, no, just remind yourself, or there's an abundance of trees, abundance of light, and like there's just abundance everywhere. Pick something and see it instead of like, there's not enough concrete to fill these potholes, or like they don't have a dumbbell that's a 10 instead of a 7 or whatever. I don't know. So just stop seeing lack and start being aware of seeing abundance all around you in whatever it is. Like lighting in my studio, plants in my house, money in my bank account. I might not have as much money, but it's coming, and I know it's coming because it's here, right? Okay. So that's the first step. Okay, so second step is the mind thinks in pictures. So think from your ideas, your fantasies of what you want to happen, okay? And I would add on, think from success, like you having it already. Like Bob Proctor says, you were born rich. And it's first created here and then it will be created here, right? When you see a building on the street, it wasn't just poof, the magic genie made the building. It was thought of first in somebody's mind, and then they took steps and things to get the building built. It's the same thing with my photo business. I was trapped in a relationship that I hated. I was miserable, right? And I just wanted to be happy again. And so I just thought about like, what would make me happy? And I'm like, well, I always like photography. And then I saw friends doing photography that were having success. I'm like, if they're doing it, I can do it too. She's not that special from me. And I just thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it. And I saw myself doing it and I saw myself succeeding. I didn't see myself like someone taking a picture and someone throwing it back in my face. Like, I never think that way. I go into every photo shoot so grateful and thankful that I actually had the photo shoot, and so blessed and grateful that I have such amazing families and wonderful people that I photograph for. Like, you see it on my Instagram, I'm like literally gushing with like gratitude that I have the clients that I have because they're so amazing, and the vendors that I work with are so amazing. I'm so grateful and thankful for them. So just think from there and think from success. And also, you will never achieve something that you don't allow yourself to have. So when I thought about my photo business, I saw it like creating an income where I could live off it in California. Like I literally could pursue my passion and my joy and make enough money to afford living in California. And I mean, I remember this one girl, I'm not friends with her anymore, but I remember her looking at my face and being like, do you really make any money from that? I'm like, I have my own house in California. Okay. At 20 plus years old, I think I was 27. And I'm like, yeah, that was a stretch. I had to have my sister help me, but I still have a freaking house. And you know what? My sister ended up moving to Colorado. I took over the house and the payment. So yeah, I have enough money to survive, not just rent, but like own a property in California. Try doing that now. Like try doing it now in 2025. See how easy it is to own a house in California. It's freaking hard and you have to have multiple incomes. And I support my house on my income. This is my house and it's a 2,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So yeah, I make money in this business. So come from it from that success point of you're going to create your dream and you're going to be successful at it. Have it start here until, like Bob says, you can hold it in your hand. And yeah, I don't talk to that girl anymore. And that story still gets me so riled up. I wish I just throw a freaking pumpkin in her face. But you know what? She's miserable, so it doesn't matter. But think from your ideas in your head, create it here, and then see yourself having success. All right, number 3, I want you to kind of step out of your comfort money zone box. Now, I know I'm a little different. I've been told I have very regal taste, and I didn't understand what regal meant for a long time. I didn't know what that meant. It's basically like I have rich taste. I don't like crappy stuff. So when I first bought it was my first car. I had like cars that my dad had bought or I inherited when my dad died, like a Honda Accord. And then my husband, or at the time, he gave me like a used Ford Explorer. But when I bought my first car, I got a luxury SUV, a Lexus, and I just wanted all the bells and whistles for it. I mean, it wasn't like this is back in the day, a long time ago when I bought it. And I just wanted a nice, beautiful car. So instead of saying to yourself, no, I'm going to get okay, when I went to buy my car, let me tell you the story. When I went to buy my car, I looked at the X5, the Acura MD, and the BMW X5 Acura MD, and then the Lexus. So they're all the same version, like SUV. I remember, this is my logic. It's not perfect logic, but it's helpful logic to help you push your kind of money limits. And I just want you to get in the habit of this because it's going to help you down the road. So I remember thinking, and this could be lack mentality. First off, the Acura. Let's go to the Acura. It's the bottom of the barrel. It's the cheapest one. I was like, the Acura drives like a minivan. I don't want a minivan. I'm a freaking young, like single girl that is going to be successful in life. Like I don't want that. So I took that off the list because I was like, I want to have a nice opulent car, like a luxury car. And Lexus is 100% luxury. So it was like between the X5 and the Lexus, right? Now I stepped out of my box. I could have afforded the Acura and took a step down and just like my sister's done this and she could say the same thing. And I helped her convince her recently to buy a Lexus. Lexus because she had a Mazda. When you drive the Lexus, it's like a cloud. Like it's like kind of like rolls like a cloud. Like it's not like kind of bumpy. Now it was basically, I think it was like 40-ish thousand back in the day. Now it's probably like 50 or 60. But the X5 BMW started at like 55 for the base model. So it was like 10,000, I think, over the Lexus. And I was like, and this is brand new, not used, because I don't like used cars. Like that's another thing of pushing your money limits. Like get new and like take care of it and push yourself to think like that. So for me, I was like, brand new car. I'm like, the X5 is 10 grand more. And I was like, it's a base model. So it's going to be 65 if I get all the things I want. But Lexus was everything bells and whistles, like 50,000, 45, 50,000. But the X5 was going to be like 50, 60. So what I want you to do is to start pushing your limits. Like don't go to grocery outlet. Go to freaking like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, right? Don't cheapen yourself because of your lack mentality. Like for example, like even like buying meat. Buy good quality organic meat and then maybe like try other things like to like lessen your grocery bill, right? Like, do you get what I'm saying? So I want you to just kind of push yourself. Don't always go to the sale rack. Like go, like if you want to do that, go to like Henry Mandel's, like a nicer store and then go to their sale rack. Like don't go to like Old Navy, you know, like go to the sale rack of like Nordstrom's or like somewhere. That's not really a good example, but you get what I'm trying to say is like push your money limits to not only buy Old Navy clothes or Sigma lenses, right? For photography. Sigma lenses are like cheaper. They'll do the trick with like a fisheye or whatever. Just get the good stuff or push yourself to go a little bit more. Because as you push yourself to do that, like me, I drove around in my Lexus when all my friends were driving Acuras and Hondas. I want to drive a comfortable car where I feel rich. And every time you get in that car, you're going to feel rich. And you're going to be like, well, I'm so glad I made this choice. And when you start feeling that way, it goes back to the abundance. And then you're going to have the abundance start coming in ways that you didn't realize. So for my sister, she drove Mazda. And so I was like, you got to get the Lexus. Don't get, I don't know what other car she was looking at. I think maybe the Acura or the Camry. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, don't. I'm like, you're 50 years old. Like, get a freaking nice car. And she did the Seagull. She took her gold card and she freaking sent me a picture like this. And she goes, it was in her new car. And she's like, look what I got. And I was like, yay. And it was like, no, it wasn't a brand new car because she's different than I don't buy used cars. It's not my jam. I like new. I don't care if I'm losing off the freaking $10,000 off the lot. I could care less because I know I'm going to take care of it. And I'm not going to have someone else's other problems that they basically put on that car, right? I can go directly to the dealer and they could fix it. But I've had exceptional quality with my Lexus. Like I've literally had it forever and it looks like a brand new car, but it's old. But I got the photo gear last year. I'm working on the car this year and it's going to be, I really want the TX because we have a lot of kids and stuff that we got to like lug around. But yeah, so start pushing your limits to like get little things like get the organic meat instead of the cheaper meat, you know, get organic vegetables instead of the crappy vegetables that have no taste because they're like GMO, right? Little tiny things. Shop at Nordstrom Rack versus Old Navy, right? Because you're going to start to feel that luxury and attract that abundance. And I'm telling you, more abundance will come. I promise. Okay, number 4. Now I've heard this multiple times and I actually sometimes negate to do it, but I'm doing it more now. It helps me get into the flow. And that is like spending and having gratitude when you spend your money. Like, thank you. Say thank you when you spend your money and know that more is coming. Right? Keeping it in flow. Like Bob Proctor, if you listen to Bob Proctor stuff, like he's like, spend it, keep it in flow, let it move, you know, like, yes, let it move. Be okay with spending. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and spend. Absolutely not. Like be cautious if you have family and whatever, but don't be overly cautious. So when you have your electrical bill, like for example, my shoulder's been hurting me. Right. And I found out that it was because of how I was sitting. I was editing and hunching over, whatever. So I went and did physical therapy, got it fixed. It just was really bugging me. So I finally broke down and did it. And I was like, that's so weird. I was wondering what was going on because the insurance, like I thought that they just paid for it. I usually had a copay, but I was like, whatever. So I got this bill for $600. And I think I went like 2 or 3 times. It wasn't even like 10 times. It was like you would think like that would be $60, right? It was almost 300 to something a visit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, they massaged my shoulder really deeply. And then they gave me some exercise that I really don't even do anymore because now I just sit back and do whatever I do. And I'm like, damn, that's like a good amount of money. If I'd have known all that, like probably wouldn't have gone back. I would have only gone twice. But anyways, instead of being annoyed and frustrated, I found myself stopping and saying, oh my gosh, I am so happy and grateful that they gave me a payment plan for $50 a month. If I want this payment plan, they'll just charge my card $50 a month. It's paid off by 2026. And I'm like, could I pay the $600? Yeah, 100%. But why the frick not? If I have an option with no interest to pay $50 a month, why wouldn't I keep that $600? Now it's a small example, but I'm so happy and grateful that I had that option, right? So when you come from that standpoint, you will have abundance versus lack. And so like with your energy bill, like be thankful that you have the 175, $200 to pay it, because you wouldn't have the light, you wouldn't have the heater, you wouldn't have all the things. And you'll start to attract more and know it's coming. Know you were born rich. You're taking the necessary actions, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. You have the thought, you have the feeling, you have the action, then you have the result, right? You think, so happy and grateful that I have the $50 option. And then more comes to you via, let's take a look at my inbox right now. I just saw that I had 3 emails pop up. One is a past client, one is a new client. Yes, I'd love to have, let's see, the event is on June 7th, service around 4. It would be, let me know if you're available and we can go from there. Let me know if you're available and go there. Look at that. So happy and grateful. Now that I have clients coming to me all the time, asking if I'm available for their date. We'd love to talk. Do you see what I'm talking about? Get into the abundance mentality. It all starts here. You've got to live from here, and then the external world will transform around you to whatever's going on here. If you're having lack, but I'm like, no, I'm so happy and grateful. I have a $50 payment that I could just easily just check off my credit card every month until next year and it's paid off. I'm so happy and grateful. And look, this client wants to freaking book me. All we have to do is have a conversation. It's like that easy. I think we make it so much more hard than we need it to be. All right, last habit, number 5, is you need to work on your worthiness. We're talking about business and money here, but if you don't feel like you're worthy, you're never going to get anything, right? All starts in here. If you're dating, struggling, you got to come from an abundant mentality. Like there's a man out there that will seriously love and respect and give you all the things that you want. You have to believe it. You have to think from abundance mentality. If you don't, you're just going to keep getting lack, and that's not fun. You know what I mean? Same thing in business. There were times, I remember one time I was like, I'm ready to raise my rates. I'm like, these people are freaking blessed to have me at this party because I'm a vendor, engaging, taking pictures, capturing moments. I'm like, they should pay me like fat cash. And I tell you, they do. And it's like when I had that realization, I'm like, I am a gift to this party. I freaking deserve that. But you got to back it up too. You deserve it, and you provide excellent service for these clients that are entrusting a special event, a major life event for you to photograph, Be so happy and grateful that you have that opportunity. And believe that you're worthy of it. I had to believe I was worthy of being able to become a photographer. Same thing with swimming. I had to be like worthy. Like the coach came up to me at a swim meet and it was like, hey, would you be interested in joining us at UCSB? I was like, and I got in academically already. I had applied to it, but he was like, yeah, he's like, I would love to have you on the team. And I was like, sweet. You got to feel worthy, because you don't feel worthy. You're going to miss opportunities. You're going to put your head down. I don't know. And then you're going to be spinning around in your head and you're going to freaking never attract anything but lack, because you just don't feel like you're worthy of it. Remember what Bob Proctor said, you were born rich. We were all born to come into this world and have riches and abundance. It is us that chooses not to have it. It's you that chooses it, nobody else. And nobody's coming to save you. Like you have to do this. Like no one's going to make me feel worthy. I have to feel worthy in my heart myself. I have to start from within, and I am. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm so worthy of everything. And I want it. It's all happening. It's all coming. So that is number 5. Believe you are worthy and you will have it. All right, peeps, if you liked this video and got value, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the videos popping up after here. It was so great being with you. Thank you for watching and hanging with me. And if you want to take your life and business to the next level, make sure to reach out. Let us know. We'd love to have a conversation of how we can help you. But in the meantime, enjoy your week, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.